Roll it.
Hold on to your hats, kids. Here we go.
Santana's ears and alley cat digs her claws into my back. Alice breaks her cigarettes. Lucy is an addict.
Hi, Francine.
Hey, Kevin.
How you doing?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Pretty good.
Awesome. I'm ready to kick this off.
Trying to what? Oh,
Yeah, I don't try, I just do.
oh. That's kind of interesting that you say that, because the song in the background, they actually say that exact same
Do
thing in
they?
one of their
I had
songs.
no idea.
Wait,
I don't
yeah.
even know. I don't hear a song. I'm supposed to hear a song.
I thought you would hear it.
I don't.
Interesting. I don't know why you're not.
Well,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well. Yeah.
I'll hear it when I listen back to it.
Okay. Well, I don't know why you're
Are
not.
we live now? Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey everyone.
This is Francine. Francine, this is Kevin.
Kevin.
How you
and
doing?
Francine.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about...
I don't even ask us how we met, because
That's
that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story, a whole nother radio show, and it'll be interesting, and we will talk about it. So, we called this one "Change Your World" because we feel like everybody wants to change the world, right? But what if we just changed our individual world first?
Everyone wants to change the world.
Everyone wants to change the world, but they miss out on maybe changing themselves first. So we're going to talk. We have several topics that we can talk about. Today we picked grounding, which is really interesting. So there's a lot of ways to ground, and Kevin will talk about ways that he does it and the ways that I do it. Anyway, this has been a really interesting week.
You think so?
It's been a little interesting. I'm hearing a lot of people say the same.
I said it a week ago.
I'm hearing the word shift a lot. Are you hearing that?
Just to clarify, it's shift.
Shift.
Yeah, just in case the people that heard it too fast.
We're gonna make shift happen. Sound like shift is happening.
I feel like I'm
I'm
in.
all about making shift happen.
Oh, okay. SHIFT.
That's it. Okay. So what are you hearing? Talk to me, my friend.
What am I hearing?
Yeah. What are you hearing about the shift?
Well, I just say let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I
Yeah.
don't really think about it too much. I just gotta go
It's
do.
really good not to think about it.
Yeah, I
too
don't
much.
think about it at all.
It's really healthy, and that's part of my grounding is not to think a lot. Get out of that head. It could be dangerous up in there.
To me, I think that the more you think about it, the more you're gonna bring more of it on you.
Well, that's called manifesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, you started off and tell me how you ground or why it's important to ground.
I mean, grounding to me it means a lot of different things. So, like, I don't know. To me, I guess it just depends on what dimension you want to ground in. But
What do we call this dimension?
I would call this dimension 3D.
Let's start with 3D.
Okay.
We don't want to lose the folks.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna start in just a second. I'm trying to collect my thoughts on this one
Okay.
as I look at the Alborod Music Festival poster.
Yeah. Well, I can.
Well, no,
chime in.
it's because that's really what grounding to me is.
Yeah.
What
this-
he's doing in that poster.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to ground. Kevin used to tell me, go walk outside barefooted.
Yeah.
That's really easy.
Okay, let's just get down to it. Okay, people that they I'm gonna talk about musicians about this. I'm gonna start with
definitely.
musicians
Let's go
because
there.
musicians, in my opinion, are the king of grounding. and kings and queens of grounding. And the reason why
Okay.
is because I say this. Okay, if you have an instrument that's made of the earth, and you play that instrument, people listen to it. The reason the music frequency, calms you down, is because it's coming from that frequency is made from the earth. So the same sense if you're sitting down, right?
Right.
You have an instrument made of wood. You have a book. We were talking about this the other day too. When you read, it is grounding because of the fact that you're holding a piece of earth in your hand. Anything that you do that has attached to the earth is a form of grounding. If you're reading, if you are playing an instrument, that's why they say that musicians don't think the same way as other people. To me, that is the truth because of the fact that
for people that don't know, just in simple terms, what is grounding?
Grounding is basically something that you do where you stop yourself and focus. That's really what it is to me.
Yeah, for me, it's just getting back in balance.
For simple, if people that say, I want to go to the beach. If you want to go to the beach, then you are grounding. I mean, that's where you feel comfortable because you're standing on the earth. I mean, to me, it's touching the earth.
Right. So let's move on to why is it important to ground?
In my interpretation of what it is, okay, because I study frequencies and I do a lot of work with alpha, theta, beta, and delta waves with the brain and how the brain perceives things, right? So when I study this and I look at the people and what they're doing, like even myself, I mean, when I'm grounding, I'm sitting down and I'm not looking at anything. I'm focusing on only what I need to do. And I'm forcing myself to do this because I'm always thinking about 100 different things. But if you don't ground, you'll never get them done.
Yeah, and it really throws you off balance.
Yeah, to me, it's not ADD at all. To me, there's frequencies happening.
I agree.
There's frequencies taking place all around you. There's Wi-Fi. There's electromagnetic frequencies. There's, God knows what we don't even know that's there. So, like, why? But you take Wi-Fi and EMF, for instance. EMF is all over the place. I mean, they're affecting us where we're sitting right now. So every light bulb emits an EMF. Everything without a third prong ground emits an EMF. It still emits an EMF. People think their phone is emitting an EMF. It doesn't really emit a huge EMF until you plug it into the wall.
Yeah.
So, like, what I mean by that is, when you plug it in, it's usually charging for the next day, and you're sleeping right next to it.
Right.
So it affects probably your waves of the way that the brain waves work. But to me, just going outside, sitting on a swing, and chilling out, and focusing on something outside of, like,
outside of you, outside of your thoughts.
I'm careful of saying outside of me.
Well, outside of maybe
basically,
our chatter.
Get one example. I'm trying to, because people from the north might listen to this and go, I don't know what he's talking about. People from the south might listen. I'm trying to find something to explain for them to understand it better. But bees, I know there's a big fright about them lately, but when you go outside and you see a bee on a flower, okay, when you're focusing on that, you're focusing on grounding. You're focusing on relaxing. You're relaxing, period, okay?
And it's done on an unconscious level.
Yes. Basically, you're chilling out.
You're chilling out.
And to
it's
me,
effortless.
when you if you put your feet to the ground, or you have a grounding mat, because everybody, that got big in the last year, where you actually take a grounding rod and you stick it into the ground, and you put it attached to the mat that your body is actually touching. Because some people have snow, and they can't exactly go put their feet in the ground. Right?
Yeah.
So that basically whatever you're on, doesn't matter what you're on. If you're touching the soil, if you're putting your hands in the soil, making a garden, you're grounding. you know. So
Yeah, for me it's that and just stilling the mind and getting,
yeah,
relaxing all the chatter. And that could be like the other day I washed my car by hand. I didn't go through the car wash.
Right.
That was grounding to me.
and not only that, you clean it better.
Totally.
I don't want to say that because some touchless dude's going to be like, "Hey, we clean your car."
And it was fun.
Amazing,"
I mean,
you know?
it was like the weather was beautiful.
Look, I as a child, I remember being 15, 17 years old and waxing my car almost. I wax my car once a month, and I wash my car every week. I still do it, but I don't wax my car once a month.
Yeah.
I still to this day do that.
Yeah.
So, when you get in my car, you're like, "Whoa, this thing is clean."
It's right.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, it's like a routine situation that you consistently do, and you feel it brings you back to you.
You have to ground. You have to get recharged. Or you're going to be out of whack. And you'll feel super ADHD and focused. And for me, it's just, like I said, being just in the stillness, like appreciating the sunrise.
Appreciating
and not
anything.
having your mind somewhere else.
Yeah,
just
anything.
pausing.
I'm going to read you. This is so weird, but okay, Facebook has taken a role to really learn who you are apparently in the last.
Right. It's getting scary.
It is a little weird. Last night, before I go to sleep, I always post really interesting things on eBay. This is a routine that I do every day. Every day, minimum of 5 things on eBay.
Yeah. Okay.
Every day. Before I do this, I go to my Facebook page and I check things because I do a lot of social media for businesses. It actually asked me what was the question it asked me last night. It said something about.
Oh, I'm getting those questions too.
Do you enjoy changing a tire? And I like changing tires. It says when I get a flat tire, I ... and I put fix it. I actually enjoy this for some reason. And one person thought it was good that I did. No, 10 people apparently.
Yeah.
It is fun. Self-sufficiency is hot.
How did we get on Facebook?
Well, because it asked me another question, and I did not post it because I just thought it was too personal.
What was the question?
I am a firm believer that people waste their knowledge on Facebook. And look, I love Facebook. I think it's cool, but to be honest with you, you need to write, man, because we're wasting all of our amazing thoughts and guidance on Facebook. I truly believe that.
Yeah, I used to dive deep in it. Now I might just put a link to my blog or an article that I wrote for a magazine. But I still think it's important because of what I do to give something that's inspiring or motivating. But I do it shorter now, just kind of short and sweet, just a little bit.
Well, I used to write a lot of things on Facebook. Just
and people don't want to sit and read a lot of stuff.
No, but this I was getting. Look, I mean, I'm happy it happened, but I just didn't feel like I needed to tell this to the dude down the street.
I know, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm not on Facebook to make people think that I'm some, I just want to be Kevin and eat a burger and go have fun.
I get it.
And take a picture every now and then. But I do write too. But the people that don't know that I write, they might not want me for that. I'm not trying to get them to come to my church and shit. I'm not into that. I'm like, dude, you do what you want to do. That's how I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like if you're happy, you continue to do what you do because there's a lot of people not happy.
Totally.
But I want to read this because it reminds me of grounding. This is, to me, what grounding really is. And this happened last night on one of those super cool Facebook questions.
Go for it.
The question was, one way to define love is ... Wow. You ready for this one?
Bring it on.
Okay. It says, and Francine is so popular, they are calling her left and right, by the way, before I even do this.
Okay, bring it.
It says, one way to define love is to look at yourself in the mirror and realize that it's you that needs to love you before anyone should ever care. Only your thoughts and choices can disconnect you from loving yourself.
True.
Only your feelings can allow you to understand if you are on the right track to success in anything such as this. Never be afraid to share with yourself or others about the love you have inside. This does not have to be verbal. It could be art, paintings, music, pictures, or more. But it says internal. Inside of us is the key. If you are afraid, ask someone who is not. Why? So you can gain another perspective and grow. Just don't disconnect before your ability to process.
That's awesome.
And what I mean by that is, by disconnecting. I truly believe that if you get too far down the pH scale of your body, you then get depressed if you become addicted to that acidity. I truly believe that.
Yeah,
and I think that, what's happening is if you don't ground, it affects the interior of your body. Because if you are constantly, enamoring yourself into all these thoughts,
you have more
and all this
potential for the
Wi-Fi
funk, for sure.
and EMF, you are constantly getting bombarded by these frequencies. I think that the Earth and the Sun are there for a reason. Number one, if we didn't have an Earth, we would not be here. Number two, if we couldn't ground to it, we would be dead.
Yeah, I think it's healthy and it's necessary to go out in nature. That to me is the best church. Is nature.
I agree with you, 100%.
Honestly, Jesus didn't have a church. I don't want to get religion.
Yeah,
here, but it's true. That is where I get all of my answers.
I think that when I am taking pictures or when I'm looking at nature, I am forcing my thoughts that race so fast to chill out.
Yes.
So the camera to me was an accident, but it was my grounding rod.
Yep.
That's really what it is.
Yep.
And I think that that's an example for other people. All these people I hear, my mind races all day. Oh my God, you don't realize it. Okay, mine is crazy. I hear this all day.
Well, kids don't get out like
But the
we
thing
used
about
to.
it is I'm like, dude, what do you do?
Play video games.
Okay, like you got to remember, like how many people have picked up a number? Have you picked up a pencil lately?
Yeah.
You know what a pencil's made out of?
Lead.
Exactly, but the wood in the lead is a tree. So the bottom line is, even lead comes from the earth. So
But yeah, these kids are not as grounded as we were because
they're holding silicone and plastic all day.
Well, and they're not getting out. They're, the iPhone is very addictive. Yeah. They're playing video games. There's a lot more.
There really is a lot more. I mean, look, even if you went outside and sat, outside and played a video game outside, you'd be doing a lot better for yourself than anything.
Yeah. Bottom line, get outside.
From a scientific perspective, I really, really believe that grounding is the earth taking the energy that you do not need in your body. And I think it's a balancing tool.
I haven't heard that one yet.
I think it's a balancing tool
really,
for you.
I think
that's what it is.
I like it.
It's kind of like you need that oil change after 3,000 miles. The earth is giving you your oil change.
Right.
That's kind of the way I look at it.
Right.
To me, that's absolutely what it is. And for a person like me who's got to do 70 things a day, I sleep on a grounding mat. I will go outside. If I had a really weird day, I will go outside in the front. We have this thing in the front in the rocks and limestone.
Yeah.
I would take my shoes off and chill out right there for 20 minutes. I don't care what was bothering me after I do that. It's gone.
It's better than a nap, or just as good. Naps are good too. I have a hard time taking them.
I think of grandparents when I think of grounding. I think of that kid that's kind of bad. You tell him he's grounded, and you make him go sit in a corner.
And ground.
Think about that for a second, right? I thought about that the other day. Like, grounding was the best thing that anybody ever did to me when I was a kid.
My 85-year-old dad said a while back, he was like, you know what, back in the day, we didn't have ADHD or ADD or,
They didn't need to.
You know what we did? They told us to go pick cotton.
Right.
And we were fine.
Right.
Makes sense, right?
It's grounding. I see all these posts on Facebook. You can make problems out of just about anything online.
You can,
but you know what? It's the best thing. When you look at the problems of the world and you look at what you were doing, I think some of the moment, like I can remember being most broke in my life and having the most amazing memories from having no money and being forced to do other shit.
Define broke. Maybe broke meaning
like no money at all, and being forced to go outside.
You had no attachments either.
Well, no, like you have to go build something.
Yeah.
Like you don't go to the store and buy a toy. You go and say, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna, and that's it.
I was telling my son the happiest humans that I know about are the pygmies. Okay, and they have no money. Okay, they don't exchange money,
right,
that I know of, and they just live off of the land, and they're like the happiest.
Super happy.
Super happy.
It's like,
they're the most spiritual beings on the earth.
It's like, people. There's I don't want to get the tribal name wrong, so I'm just gonna try to not go there. But some tribal people in Australia.
Oh yeah, okay. I knew. I would get it wrong too, but I knew who you were talking about.
Well, I know who they are, but I don't want to single anybody out. Nike apparently sends them shoes every year, like piles and like boxes and boxes of shoes.
Yeah.
They don't take them.
No.
They don't take them. It's kind of weird, but it's what corporations consider a write-off. When you look at these tribal people, they look at you like you're trying to kill us, basically, because like literally, if we wear that, that's not something that's going to benefit us.
Another thing to keep in mind is, we call them energy vampires. People that suck your energy. We have to be responsible for our energy because people that are coming into our space are not always responsible.
And also, I want to clarify this. People that are doing it, sometimes they don't know.
They don't. I could be an energy vampire. We really don't know.
Yeah.
But you have to be responsible for your own energy. So if it's something funky that brings your vibe down.
Francine is the queen of saying a word and it sounds like another word.
Funky?
Yeah. Oh. Funky. So far, funky and what was the other one? Shift. Yeah.
I love it.
So, no, I mean, I just, I don't know. I have 39 years of weird life. I mean, I've been called, I think the earliest I've ever been called weird was the age of maybe 9.
What does your license plate say?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But you make peace with that. You know what I mean? Like, and at that point, like,
yeah.
I just thought it was different.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm not like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think embracing that is another thing. And I think that.
Definitely, because it would be well, you need to be who you are.
But today, like I remember, we hear a lot about bullying and stuff. And the kid that's in school, that's like, thinks he's different and he goes outside and walks around all day. He doesn't realize that he's benefiting himself probably better than anyone because all he's doing is walking around outside. But he doesn't think that he's doing anything to benefit himself.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, to me, go outside and walk around, dude, because you're like literally like balancing yourself more than you could possibly imagine. Yeah. People don't think about that. And it's something that small that can actually benefit you.
So getting back with people, and it's not just people, like watch what you have coming in your feed on Facebook.
Girl, if I sat there and stared at Facebook feed all day, which I do, like at least 25% of my day, because I have to.
Yep.
I can tell you right now, I don't find it very strange that people are losing their mind.
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's strange at all. I mean, if you sit there all day, every day for 30 days, and you look at strangeness all day, people trying to be something that they're not half the time.
Yeah, Facebook has really gotten out of hand. At first it was
Instagram combined. Yeah. I mean, and I'm just happy Snapchat did what they did because all they did was bring people back to life a little bit.
I don't even know it. I don't have that one. I do,
well, no, they had apparently some big glitch in the update on Snapchat, and people were like, we can't even use it.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah,
it was like the best thing ever. Yeah, I mean, that's why you don't see all these people dressed like looking like puppies and kitty
bunny
cats
rabbits
and stuff.
Okay, yeah, with their big eyelashes.
Yeah.
That's funny. So yeah,
Well, the
Facebook
reason
used
they
to
do
be
it is
like,
because they say that it makes them look smooth.
Yeah, I
It
don't
makes
get
their
it.
skin look smooth.
Yeah.
And then they go on a date and the
They're not a
person's
bunny
like,
rabbit.
holy shit, you don't look anything like your Snapchat photo.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like getting back to Facebook. It was fun when it was like a few hundred friends, right? 200 or 300, and it was family, and it was, people in high
I
school.
don't have any
and-
family on Facebook. Thank
Right,
God.
But now it's like people I don't
Oh,
even
my
know.
family
I
live
don't
in an
know half
Amish,
the people
yeah.
I'm
My-
friends with, huh?
I'm like the only person in my family that doesn't live in an Amish community.
Family can be fun. I'm telling you.
I'm just joking, but like
Yeah.
it's so funny. Like my family couldn't be any more dysfunctional than you could possibly imagine.
I think most families have that. A degree of it, anyway.
It's scary.
So, yeah, anyway, ground, guys. Just, we need to get balanced.
Balance is
Yeah. So, any more about grounding before we wrap it up?
Tell me about things that you've noticed because we're talking about something that a lot of people are finding out about right now, but like we've been doing this for a while, so we don't want to just seem like we've been doing this like yesterday, like you don't invest in a whole mat for your bed and all this stuff just because you think it doesn't work.
Right.
It really does work.
Yeah.
So I mean, you sleep better. I mean, I would say that the reason I don't sleep as much as I do is because I'm grounding. Because when I wake up, I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not passed out the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm up, I'm up. I don't need coffee.
Right.
So, and if I drink
I do
coffee,
need coffee.
I'm like that kid on red Kool-Aid. So
Caffeine has an effect on you.
but that's the thing. I don't really need it,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually don't like caffeine anymore. Like I really rather not do
the
it.
soda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have a question?
What did you feel like whenever you first realized that there was something in it for you? Like, how did you feel? Because I mean, people that don't, some people think everything is witchcraft, and everything is a cult. And I just, I don't understand that.
Focus on that, and I really
I know,
don't
but they
get into
do.
it.
Like, some people think that anything that's different, that's outside of the norm
yeah.
of
Are
their,
you talking about like just
grounding
spirit-
in general.
Grounding
People,
in general.
yeah,
No, it
I've-
made me feel so. My experience with it, I guess, meditation.
Yeah.
When I started doing that a few years ago, God, so balanced. There was times when I started doing it, I should have been super stressed out,
Right.
and I wasn't. And my kids were like, "You're so focused. You're so relaxed." So they saw a difference, and I saw a difference in just my sleep pattern. So that was one. I've always been a walker my entire life, and I think that's helped a lot. Of course, I moved to a bigger city, so I didn't have my routine, so I
Well-
needed to do something else.
The reason I'm asking you this is
Yeah.
because I know that you, I mean, you had some, did you have any kind of like strange surgery or something like you had something?
Yeah, I've had a few neck surgeries.
Okay.
2005, 2008, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Since you've done this, do you notice a difference in any pain? The reason I'm saying this is for a reason.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
People don't realize that the earth can take some of that balancing.
Yeah, we have
problem
natural
away,
healing in our bodies.
Yeah.
They don't tell us this. They don't want us to. People
No,
don't.
they really don't.
The medical community doesn't put that out there, but we do. Not to get too woohoo here, but we do have natural healing powers. Every single person.
Well, I think the earth is the reason we have those natural healing powers. But
Right.
but like seriously, like inflammation in the joints and things of that nature. Like I remember talking to some people recently, within 2 years ago, there were people complaining that they used to dance and they can't dance anymore because their joints hurt so bad from either arthritic problems or problems with the joints, like literally from dancing so much. So I would look at them and I said, and they would complain a lot, and out of nowhere they would ask me, you never complain about much.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I just don't really have anything to complain about. You know what I mean?
It's really
Like,
not fun.
no, I don't really have anything to complain. I mean, I'm super happy. If I wake up, I'm cool.
hardwired to complain.
No. But the thing is, they asked me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, I said, look, the first thing I would do if I had problems with my joints or my issues like that, or back problems, is I would go outside. I would literally find a really cool spot that had grass or real dirt in it. I don't care if it was an area that you created in sand or topsoil. I would create an area like that. You know, go to Bearwood Furniture, buy yourself a swing, and sit on that swing. And literally, if it's attached to a tree, it's even better. But realistically, like, sit on that swing, put your feet in the ground, and just sit there for 15 minutes a day. And they said, well, why would I do that? I said, well, you'll have to do it to understand.
Yeah.
And they don't, you can't tell them too much because they won't do it.
Yeah.
They think you're crazy. Like, there's no way that's going to work. I've gotten that from people from telling them way too much, too fast.
You know. I get it.
Here's one that worked. She actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
3 days later, I told her to do it for 60 days. I said, if you do this for 60 days, you're going to see some pretty amazing results. She goes, I don't understand why that would work, but I tell you what, I want to dance again. So I'm going to try it. I said, make sure you do it at the same time every day for 15 minutes a day. On the 5th day, she called me on the phone, and she said, I never thought I'd be telling you this. I said, what? She says, I'm going dancing tomorrow.
Good for her.
I said, what happened? She says, all I did was exactly what you told me to do. I went outside. I have a place. We already have a swing. I just always I never really swing on it. I always go outside and I look at it and I walk inside. I don't think about doing that. She says I did it for 5 days straight, and now I don't have any joint pain.
Amazing. And we all have 15 minutes to spare.
Mm-hmm. And, the other thing that I want to say, and then I'm going to stop with this, is the thing that is most impressive to me with men is the grounding mat on the bed. After 24 hours, and I don't want you to quote me on this because I'm not a doctor, but after about 24, I would say 24, give it 5 days, your snoring is not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of this issue...
All the women are going to the mat.
Well, I mean, I truly recommend the sheet. I do. It's only $125 on the right place, and you find the one that actually goes in the ground of the receptacle inside. You don't really have to. I have the one that's in the receptacle personally, but when I do it, I know I sleep better. I find that deeper sleep that I need, and people that have issues sleeping use delta and theta waves. Mm-hmm. Don't use them every night. Switch them up every 5 days.
Yeah.
But you're going to balance your brain state right, and you're going to go to sleep again.
Yeah, I've done that. It's so relaxing.
Yeah,
Definitely. A lot of benefits there. Even when I'm working, I'll put it on.
Yeah, I mean, the one that gets me is when children can't. Children, I feel, I don't know. I mean, I guess I just feel like everybody has a validity in their a value. I'm always saying that.
Of course. But
Francine, some of these kids if a teacher tells them a mark on their paper that you can't, you cognitively, your cognitive functions are bad. If I saw that, I would have a problem with myself. Mm-hmm. So I think that some of these things, they should only be spoken about with, when you have a parent-teacher conference. You have a parent-teacher conference, and you kind of do it with the student. To me, that would be so much more beneficial.
You don't know how they're going to receive it and what kind of story they're going to tell themselves.
And you don't know what their home life is like.
No, I'm telling you. They do a lot of things,
like,
and they don't know, but it affects these children.
I think you're right.
I had teachers like that. It definitely affected me.
Well,
not blaming anybody.
And look, I'm not saying everybody needs a trophy.
No,
I'm saying
we don't want that either.
You speak to them, you figure out if there's an issue before there is a worse issue. Because trust me, if they find ways to disconnect from the soul that they have, I promise you're going to be dealing with a lot bigger of an issue than talking to them about their
That's
cognitive
another
function.
subject. Maybe we could talk about
Yeah.
that next one.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Definitely.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, everybody go ground. Get your kids outside if you have kids.
well, find a reason to do it. You know?
Yeah, I don't know that you need a reason. Just go.
Yeah,
Just
but
do
some
it.
people need that reason.
Mhm.
You know?
And make it part of your routine.
Hell, you might learn something, to be honest with you. Go outside and say, hey, you know what? We're going to go look for the coolest flower outside.
That's all about stillness.
Yeah,
That's where I
yeah.
get all my wisdom. That's where it all comes.
Yeah,
all
I mean-
the creative ideas. You get more connected to the right hemisphere of the brain. That's where all the stuff comes. All the good stuff. So,
Your microphone is like literally so loud. I hear her clapping. I hear her moving her
you hear me
everything.
drinking. So
But no, I mean seriously, like I don't even know how important it is. What's the worst that can happen if you are in some sort of pain and you go outside and you just sit down each day, 15 minutes? Go look at your Facebook for 15 minutes every day. Doesn't matter what you do. You're doing that anyway in the easy chair. You might as well do it outside.
yeah.
So, change your world.
Change your world. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So,
Well, can they leave feedback or anything?
well, yeah,
Okay.
we're going to be doing a lot
Okay.
more things. We're gonna put this on YouTube, and we're gonna also have it on a website, and it's gonna also go in a big podcast thing that she don't even know about yet that I've been
Excited.
researching. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you for listening to Change Your World with Kevin and
Francine.
Cool. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Roll it. Hold on to your hats, kids. Here we go.
Santana is an alley cat, takes her clothes into my bath. Alice breaks her cigarettes, Lucy is an addict. Smack.